Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Suri Sessions. Today let's discuss about some of the most important topics with regards to the select statement and filtering the output. So today we are going to cover about select distinct command and select into command and where keyword and in conjunction with where what all filters can be applied. So let's discuss them one by one in a nutshell and then we'll go into a hands-on session. So to start with, select distinct. What is select distinct? I think we have already learned about how to extract the data from table using select star from. In case when you're extracting data, you might see lots of duplicates. In those scenarios, you might think, oh, why I'm getting so many duplicate records? Why can't I get the unique records without any duplicates? In those scenarios, you can actually use a command select distinct which replaces the actual select statement. So when you use this select distinct followed by whatever columns you would like to retrieve, it always returns distinct values without any duplicates. So that's on select distinct. Now another important topic on select is there is a command called select into. What is select into? Sometimes you are in a hurry, you have to create a copy of one of the table. It can be a backup or it can be kind of a refaced version of the original table. In those scenarios, rather than creating a new table using a create command and then inserting records into it, there is a shortcut to that. We can use select into command, which will basically copies all the data from the current table into a new table, whatever name you have mentioned. And you can also filter that using the filter criteria, which we will discuss later. But for now, select into will help us to copy all the data in one go into a new table. So now, since we are talking about output filtering, so let's discuss about what commands we use to filter the output, and in conjunction with that what other various keywords we can use. So I think, as I said, like the basic command which can be used to filter the output of a select statement is where. The keyword where defines what exactly you're going to filter using this command. So we can't simply use where. There should be some keyword in addition to the where. It can be equal or it can be any of the following, which can be in, and, or, not, between. I think the names are very conclusive and easy to understand. So to start with, in. Whenever you specify in the where clause, it basically defines what all values you are going to filter. So you can specify multiple values in the filter criteria using in keyword. And as the name suggests, it basically filters the output based on all the conditions being met. So whatever conditions you are going to put with and command, that has to be met, otherwise the output won't be displayed. Or there are some scenarios where you want one of those conditions can be met, not necessarily everything. In those scenarios you can use or command. Not. Okay, this is, you can say like, oh, I don't want this one, but everything else I would need it. In those scenarios you can use not command, which basically filters the output where conditions are not met. Between. Another interesting one. Between actually filters the output based on a range. It can be A to Z or 1 to 10, or it can be any date like from 1st of January to 31st of January. So likewise, you can actually specify the range rather than specifying them individually. So in a nutshell, like we can use select command in conjunction with the where clause, where we can also take help of any of these 5 keywords which can help us to filter the output. So let's go ahead and do some hands-on sessions to get used to these commands. Okay, let's discuss in practical. So I just wanted to see what data we got within the customer table. So you could see customer table contains 6 records of customer ID 1 to 6 and for various cities and various countries. Say for example, if you want to see how many countries we got from customer table. So when you run this command, select country from customers, it's listing out 6 countries. Do you think we have 6 countries? No, because we have some duplicates. UK was repeated twice and similarly India too. So if you want to say, okay, I want to see what all the distinct countries we are holding in the customer table. So as I said, we just need to use select distinct instead of select followed by the column from customer. When you run this, you could see the output is pretty clean without any duplicates. So likewise, distinct command always helps us to clean up all the duplicate values. You can play around with any of the column. You can use country or instead of country, say for example, if you want to get distinct cities, you can also use that. So in this case, you can see it's only throwing 5, even though we got 6 records. I think one of the city is duplicated. Yes, it is. London was indeed duplicated. So likewise, you can mention n number of columns from the distinct. You can also say like distinct city from or country. So what will happen in this case? In this case, it's going to say London and UK only once instead of twice. So if you see this, yes, you could see only 5 records again, where London UK was not repeated. So yeah, so that's on distinct. So let's go into the next command, select into. As I said, select into is a very key command which will help us to create a new table in shortcut. Say for example, I was thinking, okay, from customer table I have made some changes. I got this records. I don't want to lose it in case if I make any further changes. I just want to save it somewhere. So what I can do? So as I said, we can use select into command. So the select into command can be used in multiple ways. So the first way what we can learn is we can use select star into. Here star denotes everything. Say I want everything from this table. So you can say select star into new table name, which is customers one, from the current table, which is customers. So when I run this command, what will happen? You could see 6 rows affected. That means SQL has created a new table customers one, and it also copied everything from customers table. So when you run the command select star from customers one, you could see the same data as we hold in customer table. It's pretty good, isn't it? It was quite quick to create a new table and also add all the data we are holding. Okay, suddenly you might be thinking, okay, I don't want all these 5 columns. I only want set of columns into my new table using the current table. So what I can do? Similar to the previous query, instead of mentioning select star into, we will only mention the respective columns we are interested in. So we'll say select customer ID, customer name, country into new table, which is customers 2 from customers. So what will happen? When I run this query, you can actually, oh, another important thing. Okay, while doing it, I also had another filter criteria. Okay, I don't want to hold all the customer details. I only want customers who are based in UK and India. So what I can do? You can also add a where clause to it. You can say where country in UK and India. So when you run this command, you could see only customers who are based in UK and India will be added into customer 2 table. So that means we got customer 2 4 rows affected. So we got 4 records created. So let's see what customer 2 table hold. Yes, you can see only 3 columns as we defined: customer ID, customer name and country. And you can also see the countries from only India and UK. So it's very helpful in few cases where you want to filter the record or you want to take a backup of the current table. You can always go ahead with select into command. So now, since we are also learning about the filtering, let's do some filter criteria. So as we already discussed, we should always use where clause if you want to filter the output. Okay, from customer table, I only want records from country as India. So as we define it, the way we can define is like select star from table name, where clause, what clause you want to filter. I want to filter where country equal to India. Okay, so you can see two records which are from India. Similarly, if you put UK, we can only see I think two records again. Yes, we have two records. So likewise you can play around whatever column you would like to. Okay, I have learned about equal. What are the other commands? Yes, as we discussed, we have various keywords which can be used in conjunction with where clause. Okay, I think the one which you already used above, I'm going to repeat that. So what I'm going to do in this case is, okay, I'm only interested in customer details whose country in India and UK. So again, yes, you can see four records which are from UK and India. So instead of equal, we are going to put in command, and then we are going to specify what are the values. So you can specify n number of values. There is no restriction. And now, okay, now we have discussed about in, and, or, not. So let's discuss about or now. Okay, now I'm saying, okay, I want to view the customer details whose country in either India or UK. So here we are saying or clause. Or means it can be one of those conditions. So not necessarily it can be together. So what I would say is like, okay, this query will fetch any records with country as India and also any records with country as UK. So when you run this, yes, you got again four records. See, there are multiple ways to filter the output. You could see, you could say, okay, what is the difference between this and this? Both are filtering the same records. Yes, you're right. It's one way you can use in keyword. In other way, you can use or keyword. It's up to you based on the number of what you call the selection criteria. You can either use in or clause. Okay, now we learned about or. Let's go into the next one, which is and. What is and? As we discussed, it only filters the output when both conditions are met. In this case, I'm saying, okay, from customer table, I got 6 records, but I want only where country is India and city is Delhi. So when I run this command, it will only fetch the record matching to both the conditions. Yes, so we can only see one record because this record has city as Delhi and country as India. So and will filter to the extreme level where all the conditions are met. Otherwise it won't provide any output. So now not. Okay, as I said already, not will give everything else. So here I am saying select star from customers where not country equal to India. That means I want all the records which are not from India. When I run this, you could see, yes, we got all the 4 records which are not from country as India. So now there is another way we can use not keyword. How we can use is like we can say select star from customers where previously we said country in India and UK. Here I am saying, okay, country not in India or UK. So now what will happen is the SQL will run at the back. It will go into the customer table. It will see wherever customers are not based from India and UK, it's going to display the output. So here we go. You could see France and Belgium. So yes, likewise you can play around with these commands. And other important command, yes, between. As I said, between can be defined in numeric, text or date. So let's discuss about some examples. So here I'm saying, okay, we have 6 records in customer table. Now I only want customer ID between 1 and 5. Can you give me only customer IDs between 1 and 5? So yes, you could see it has displayed 5 records as an output since customer ID is between 1 and 5. So here the one important thing you should remember is it's inclusive. It will also give 1, it will also give 5. So now I will play around with text values. So I'm saying, okay, instead of customer ID, can you just display the output where customer name between cust1 and cust5? That means the SQL will define at the back, okay, I want every customer whose name between cust1 and cust5. That means cust2, cust2, 3, cust4 will also come into the picture. and as I said, like cust1 and cust5 also inclusive, so you will see again the same 5 records with customer name between cust1 and cust5. So likewise you can play around with multiple values. It can be numeric or it can be text. So always filtering the SQL output is very key when you're doing your filtering on the output, especially if you want to do any quick analysis or if you want to filter the output into multiple tables. So you can always use where clause in conjunction with select into, and also the select distinct can be used if you want to display only the unique values without any duplicates. So yes, I hope the session is useful. Please do like, share and subscribe our channel. We'll catch up with another session. Thank you. Signing off, Suri.